Hello, and welcome to Talk, Therapy, Heal, a dynamic and engaging show that endeavors to shatter the many stigmas surrounding mental health and therapy. Talk, Therapy, Heal is a collective of licensed counselors, therapists, and life coaches unique in areas of specialization, expertise, and experience. Through the art of curated, genuine, compassionate conversation, we get to the deep things. We are so excited you chose to begin your healing journey with us. Tune in to Talk, Therapy, Heal. Hello, and welcome to Talk, Therapy, Heal, a dynamic and engaging show where we get to the root and the deep, deep things and challenges of life. Join us on this episode.
Yes. So, as Larisha said, welcome. What we are going to be speaking about tonight is just candid conversation. We bring topics to the table, but we're just going to be candid, no specific topic. And whatever it is that come forth is what we are going to do.
All right. So we letting y'all in kind of on the backside, the conversations we have off camera. Y'all get a little snippet of that tonight. So,
Yes.
whew, all
It's a
right.
lot going on.
It is a lot going on right now. A whole lot. So we always bring honesty to the table, right? We always want to make sure that you are getting a honest take on how we deal with things or how we process things. You all have seen us if you've been watching or been here with us before. You've seen us process even at the table. So this is going to be no different. And right now, what's happening in the world, let me tell you, it's hard. It's been really, really, really hard. And I'm going to say personally hard for me. I know we all have our different stories of how it's been impacting us and how it's actually manifesting in our lives. I guess the biggest thing, and we can't overlook it, is this war. This war that's happening right now. We are all prior military. We still have military connections. We have sons who are currently serving. My husband, who is he serves the military, but he's not in the military. It's been really, really difficult hearing all of the different things. And of course, we can't get into too much detail, right? Because of safety purposes. But it's hard for me to process this being here where we think we should be safe. And I'm always reminded of when we did our episodes on American Dream or American Nightmare. And it just takes me back to that because we were supposed to feel safe here. And while I know I remember saying I wasn't safe, I really don't feel safe now.
Right.
I really do not feel safe
Yeah.
in America.
If I can add and take this time, I think every opportunity maybe we have, if we can help educate the people, is something important that you said. We understand that social media is free speech, but coming from veterans who served, deployed, and all those things, listen, please, 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 if you have someone that you know that is serving overseas, you think it's okay to go in a comment and say, oh, yeah, my son just left for, or I have an uncle who's currently serving at this location. Please do not do
Don't
that.
do that.
Do not. Because just like anyone else can see that, those who are considered the enemy can see that as well. And what you're doing is you are giving away their location. And not only will it affect your loved one, but it'll also affect the brothers and sisters in arms that they're serving with. So you are basically telling the air quotes enemy where they are and where potentially bad things can happen, where they can strike. So please share this with everyone you know here, in this country, around the world, or whatever, because it's multiple countries that are now involved.
Yes.
Please, we call it Operation Security, OPSEC. Keep it quiet to keep them safe.
Yes, yes, agreed. Never. I've never spoken about any place where my husband was or is or where my son might be. I mean,
Mhm.
I
We
guess
know better.
we know better, right?
Mhm.
But a lot of people don't, because I have seen people talk about where their loved ones are, and I'm just like, oh, don't do that.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I think it's fair to say that a lot of people feel very uncertain right now.
Mhm.
And there's a lot of things that are going on. Some people may agree with this war. Some people may not. Some things that have been done is causing a lot of division. You may be wondering, where do I stand in all of this? How do I move forward? And what I would suggest is that, you sit down and you have candid conversations
Yeah.
Mhm.
with individuals, get to know other people's viewpoints without trying to change individuals. And then at the same time, if it's still bothering you and it's affecting you in a mental way, in a physical way, seek out other resources to help you better understand so that you don't get to that point where anxiety takes over and you're worried about every little thing. And then you find out, oh, there was nothing to worry about. Do your due diligence, do your research. Be careful of what you listen to. Sometimes you can't
Yeah.
listen to everything,
Mm.
and you can't spend too much time off in the TV listening to everything that the news has.
Yes.
You've got to take some time for your peace of mind, especially with everything that's going on, because there's so much that is being said, but it's also so much that we really don't know.
No, that is true.
Yeah.
That is true.
Now, I would say seek out truth.
Oh,
You
yes.
know what I mean? I know everybody has different perspectives and opinions about things, but seek out truth because truth is the thing that definitely will set you free.
Mhm.
All right. But not only that, truth will reduce anxiety. Truth
Mhm.
will reduce maybe that uncertainty,
Mhm.
that you would have.
Mhm.
Not only that, um, focus on your backyard. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
That's a good one.
Look at your own backyard. And yes, we've got things going on, around us and then abroad. But look at your own backyard.
Yeah.
I agree.
You know what
I
I mean?
agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to say one thing that I feel like has been allowed or allotted for me, and I'm thankful for my circle, for you all, and everyone who has called to check in on me. No one has told me what to feel or what I shouldn't feel.
Absolutely.
And so we should be careful to tell someone what they should and shouldn't feel as it pertains to what is happening in the world today. Because we're really quick to tell somebody, well, you shouldn't feel like that. This is your country. This is this. This is
Mhm.
that. And you invalidate the person's feelings about what it is that their experience is.
Right.
Especially for those who have loved ones who are serving, who are in harm's way. It's okay to feel what you feel. And like I said again, I appreciate having the circle who doesn't say to me, "Oh, Nikki, you shouldn't feel that.
Right.
Mhm.
What would God do?" Or
Right.
"God doesn't want you to feel like that." Even if taking it into prayer, I was sharing with them again. Y'all in that back stage conversation about how I felt excited and liberated and just at peace with being able to share even with God how I felt, even with the strong emotion that I did have, the anger that I have, the disappointment that I feel, the uncertainty that I have, the fear that I have about my loved ones being involved in something like that. These are real, true feelings.
Right.
And I don't feel like we should be invalidating people, telling them what they shouldn't feel because it's for the good of the country until it knocks on your front door.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
You won't have that same thought. That thought process would be different. So when it doesn't impact you, I think it's easier for you to say what another person should feel or what their experience should be. But when it hits your door, I think it's the same with death. Some people say, well, you should get over it or you should be over it by now. Your
Mhm.
grief shouldn't be this or it shouldn't be that. You don't know it until you experience it.
Yeah.
And it's different for everybody.
That's true.
Different
Yeah.
for
Mhm.
everyone.
That's
Mhm.
Yes.
you said something that because as you all are speaking, I'm thinking about some of the things that I see when I do go on to social media. That may be another thing. Back up off of social media during this time.
I know I had to.
Right. But what I think is most interesting, and I was sharing with them is there is two things that I'm feeling right now is very dangerous. One is kind of similar to what you were saying. It's like to have this I don't care attitude. It ain't got nothing to do with me. That's no one worries about it until, like you said, it's hitting their front porch. You're so nonchalant. It's the humanity seem like is lacking to me where we used to be human and we would listen to each other and we would be community, but now it seems like it's lackadaisical. Well, that's not my problem until it becomes your problem. And then you get mad at everyone around you because they're not reacting the way that you feel, but you dismissed everyone else. And I'm also shared this as well. Another thing that I think is dangerous is, and it maybe can come across dismissive, even if it's true, even if it's true. And so as believers, for those who are believers, to say, well, you shouldn't worry about that, Nikki. God got it. Okay, we know that. We know that. But at the same token, is that a form of invalidating your feelings? Because I haven't even heard you out.
Right.
You start to talk, I cut you off. And then that could also, I'm just using it as an example, but anybody, but then that could also potentially minimize. Like you feeling, well, what? Am I lacking faith? Do I not have faith? I pray, I see God, I read my word. So that's not always the magic answer.
Right.
Because I think sometimes what people do is we forget. It's kind of like you walk in La La Land. So it can come across like God is a genie that I just rub whenever I want to make it better instead of actually humanizing her feelings and what she's going through, what we're all going through. Now I'm going to add a number 3, and this will probably lead since we're all veterans. What I've seen on social media is that you have a bunch of, as we say, civilians. And it may be bots too. So let's throw them in there as well. But because we don't know who it is.
Yeah. Listen, we are dealing with bots.
We are. So you got AI, you got bots, and you got civilians. Civilians, I want you all to think about this. If you've never served, do not feel like veterans are, oh, you're overreacting. You're this, you're that. No, you don't know what we've seen. You don't know where we've deployed. You don't know what our jobs was and what we had to do in, whether it be from receiving people, being at the air base, I forget the name of it, as, cats coming in, you don't know. So for you to say, oh, kind of like you said, because this is what I've been saying, I just be shaking my head like, Lord, let me get up off here. Because it's like, oh, you don't understand. This is for the good of our nation. This until someone says, how are you telling me this when I did 4 deployments, this many wars, 2 wars, and I've served 27 years in the United States, whatever. Then all of a sudden they pipe down. So, I'm seeing the little memes going around. I mean, if you feel patriotic and you don't have a DD-214, the offices are open. Okay. The recruiters would be more than happy. They need to take your application. So if you're so patriotic for this country, we encourage you. I'm going to speak for me. I encourage you as a veteran. I encourage you.
Yeah. Yes, we can.
Right. Yeah. Go put your money where your mouth is. Go and serve our country. Come back and holler at us on Talk Therapy and let us know how you feel. But don't be so quick to just coin it in patriotism when we have been and seen and done and realize some things that are going on that maybe you do not realize it. Oh, you're disrespecting the flag. Have you ever read the regulation? That's a whole, people don't know that.
And they don't.
Yeah.
They don't.
It's a whole what you're supposed to do and not do when it comes to the flag. And in reality, for our poor civilian counterparts, y'all don't realize y'all disrespect the flag more than anybody who served. But we're going to leave that alone because that ain't what the show is about.
Well, what I think what you and Nikki said, there's something we need to explore a little bit deeper.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why do people feel as though they don't have to worry about it right now? I'm not worried about it because it's not affecting me. Well, I believe in the society that we live in today, there's been a couple of things that happened. One, we've been desensitized. When you're seeing negative stuff all the time over and over again, eventually it's just like, oh, okay, well, we just saw that the last time. It's the same thing all over again. And then we've also been institutionalized. We've been taught in different ways that, hey, this is just the norm. This is something we have to do. Stand up for it, get behind us, all that stuff. And don't get me wrong, I understand that from a motivational concept, but everybody doesn't always understand and know what that truly means when it gets down to the nitty gritty. And so just like you guys say, hey, if you feel that patriotic, go right on down to the recruiting station. You will find out really quick what it really means once you get there.
You ain't lying.
Once you get in. And so
basic.
yeah, so having candid conversations like this, I would encourage individuals to one, make sure that you are validating other people's experiences. You may not know what that person's been through. Just listen. We're not asking you to solve a problem. Just listen. The other part is try to have a conversation without it turning into an argument. We don't have to argue about things. We can have discussions around a lot of different topics without arguing, because everybody may have a different viewpoint as to the reason why they act that way, the reason why they feel that way. Can you take that in for a minute and say, can I understand what it is that you're saying? I may not agree with it, but I can understand. And then the other thing that I think we have to talk about is, and I use this in all of my sessions when I'm counseling, is that word control. I'm an individual that believes that I can't focus on a lot of things that I can't control because I can't change anything.
That's true.
Those things that I can control, I will gravitate towards that to try to do whatever I can, and then we go from there. So like recently, my wife and I were having a discussion, and this is one thing I encourage people to do. Check in with your spouse. Check in with your children. Check in with your friends. Hey, how are you feeling with all this stuff that's going on? See what they have to say. And I asked her, are you worried about anything? She gave me some of her concerns. She asked me, are you worried about anything? I said, not really, but I use these words and I'm not trying to utilize the wrong language. I said, but I'm not dumb either. So I'm one of those individuals that I stay at the ready. So when she sees me do certain things around the house, baby, what's going on? Oh, you ain't paid attention to this, that, them, but that's what I do. I don't take it to the extreme, but I would rather be prepared in case something does happen instead of waiting around for it to happen. Now, if it doesn't happen, we just did a battle drill. That's all it was to it.
That's what it was.
But if I need it, then guess what? It's there and you go forward. You're just preparing. So ask yourself the question, even in the midst of this, what are you preparing for? It doesn't have to say, oh, we're preparing for Armageddon. It ain't got to be that deep. But are you preparing to say, at least we need to get some things in line just in case something goes wrong? So sometimes nothing ever goes wrong when you expect it. It's always when you unexpect it.
That's interesting. I was thinking of good points. Good points, by the way. You said institutional.
Institutional.
That's something else.
Yeah.
But I want to look at like Western culture.
Oh, okay.
Western culture is individualized.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Because it's individualized, we're not focused on other people. You know what I mean? We're not looking outside for the greater good. Well, not always, right? Let me not generalize, but sometimes we're not looking outside in the sense of how can I support? How can I help? How can I keep safe? You know what I mean? Those that are around me. Maybe, just maybe, we have to make a shift in our mindset to more of a collective, you know what I mean? A collectivistic society. You know what I mean? Where you're not just focused on your home. You know what I mean? But you have concern and care for those that are outside.
Can I ask, if y'all don't mind, and it made me think, because I'm listening to all this and taking it in, as I'm sure you all are as well. If we can, if y'all don't mind, go back to what it feels like as a veteran watching all this unfold. I was sharing with an amazing young lady, and she was sharing about how, although she didn't serve, like she wasn't the spouse when her husband was active duty, but is now. Being that her spouse is a veteran, and was sharing some of the things with me, about what her spouse was going through. And it seems like as this is unfolding, it's just so many things. So first I will share this, and then, we can share if y'all don't mind. Not that you have to check in on, but if veterans around you is like feeling away or they're going through things, please don't try to minimize that either.
Right.
Because it's things again that we know, we see, the things that, I hate to say it like this, but if you don't know, you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But we could have conversations as veteran and get together and be like, did you see this? Did you see, oh my God, da 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 da. We're not panicking and tripping. We are preparing. But just don't try to minimize that as a veteran, because it made me think about, remember back in the day, I remember when I was growing up, I can't even believe I joined the military now I'm thinking about it. But they used to say, oh, leave that person alone. Yeah, they serve in the military. They got shell shock. But in reality, this of what is going on could be very triggering.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
For a lot of veterans.
Oh, yes.
So, and we have a lot of veterans here in the United States. So with that being said, if y'all don't mind sharing, and I don't mind sharing as well, what is it that maybe you, in speaking with fellow veterans, or maybe you are thinking, feeling in this moment when you see this?
Well, I think for me, once again, it goes back to preparation. Because I've been in a lot of different places, deployed a lot of places. When I see that the troops are reacting to something, they're deploying for something, I kind of go in that same mode. Now, I'm not physically packing up TA-50, getting on a bus or a plane and going somewhere. But in my mind state, it's like, if for some reason the country gets overran, you better be ready to be that next line of defense for your home, your community, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
So I think from a preparedness standpoint, well, where my guns are at, what caliber do I have? What is my final protective line located at around my house? Where are my go bags at? And people may say, boy, he's out there.
No.
To me, you have to understand this. Veterans pick up things that some of them can never put down. And there's just something about what has been ingrained in us that long after you retire, you still got it.
Yeah.
There's words that I know I can say right now, and they will react to it if I said, certain words. So for me, the feeling that I have right now is that I feel safe, but I never take that for granted. I feel like my family can handle certain situations, but we still have to prepare. We train. I'm not running to the stores trying to buy everything out the stores, but we have a little bit stocked up for certain things. Yeah, I got a battle line. If I got to leave up out of here, I may not grab a gun in the house, but when I hit that wood line, we ready.
Listen, we ready.
It's funny, but oh my God, for me, it's preparation. My preparation may not look like Kenya's preparation, but in my mind, it's about, where are the guns?
Right.
Do I got enough ammo? Do I have enough resources? Who can I call? Who can I connect with? Like, I am thinking distance wise. Okay, I know. Okay, hey, we got a arsenal maybe down here. How can I get there?
Yeah.
What's the quickest way for me to get there? Making sure that the cars are always
Ready.
up and
Yes.
ready.
Yes.
Go bags, things like that. We talk, me and my husband talk about that all the time. The workers was like, okay, we got to have our go bags ready. We got to be ready for certain things. And like you said, we don't go to the store and stock up and go nuts and have some storage room full of stuff, but we have what we need. There are things that are there that, okay, something gets turned off. Hey, we know how to make a fire.
Yeah.
We know what water sources. You have those things. I don't know if it's maybe it is veterans. We think like that because we've been in the field. We've been in places where you don't have the faucet that you can just go turn on the water and the water comes on. You don't have food that you can go and cook in the kitchen. You got to be ready.
Right.
You just gotta be ready. How are you going to sustain and maintain your family if something did go down? We're even talking about like, hey, you know, I know you say you want that pool, but we might need to get a underground bunker, you know, going on up and through here. You know, it's things like that you start to think about, especially now when things are happening, because where I feel like back in the day or back when things were happening and wars were happening and going on, America, in a sense, was safe.
Of course, yes.
We were safe. We knew no one was going to come over here and do anything. I don't feel that level of safety for our country anymore.
I think 9/11 somewhat changed that.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so I'm not going to go down a rabbit hole with conspiracy theories. Whatever you believe in reference to 9/11, it is what it is.
It is, right.
But we can never count out the fact that something could happen here on American soil. Now, we've never had a war fall here outside Civil War or things of that nature, but it can happen at any given time. And so with that being said, I want to go back to something that Larisha said. We have to have this sense of community instead of individualism. Because when it all boils down, they're not going to say, hey, you know, we saw that guy King on TV. We ain't going to do much mess with him. We just going to go over there and mess with the Joneses or, you know, the Radcliffes or whatever the case would be. No, when the enemy sets in, they don't care. And if you don't band together as a community, it's harder to make it. And I would suggest this. I'm not going to tell you to go run on YouTube and look at a million things, but a lot of things that we know to be true are played out in front of our eyes. Watch a movie. We know some things are sensationalized, but the basic of it all for some of these prepper movies that you see is that anything can happen at any given time, and are you ready or not? And then you see that people are fighting against each other to survive when you should be fighting with each other to survive. Because if I got something and there's a couple of deer running around the back and I drop one, I'm going to feed everybody. That's just me. We all can make it, but we got to pull together. And it's one of those things now where it's like every man for himself. Somebody up in here, somebody out there in the community is going to have to be a person that God has sent to say, I'm going to be that leader and pull everybody together. Somebody got to be a Noah. Somebody is going to have to be a Moses. Somebody will have to end up being a David. When giants come, okay, give me 3 stones and a slingshot, and we ready to go. All right? But if we don't stand together, we'll fall together. So what I would say to individuals that are listening, I don't take a political stance when it comes to party. That's just me. I'm not Democrat, I'm not Republican, I'm just me, and I look at everything that's out there, I pick what I want to pick and vote for, and I go from there. But what we have to understand is this. If we are being divided from the inside, what do you think the enemy's going to do?
You ain't never lied.
They're just going to sit back and wait for some more division to come through. It's okay, now's the time to go at us.
I'm reminded of the story in the Bible.
Who?
Okay, when they came and they confused and they attacked each other.
Absolutely.
They didn't even have to do anything because you're going to do it to yourself.
Absolutely.
You're going to do it to yourself. Oh, my God. Yeah.
God, so what did you feel as a veteran? Exactly.
I would say for myself, it's hard to describe, y'all, but I'm gonna do my best to find the words. But for me, I feel the physical manifestations of what's going on externally, you know, around us. It doesn't feel like a heaviness or any oppression or anything like that. But it feels like, is this real?
Wow, yeah.
Is this real? And the answer to that question is, yeah,
That's real.
yeah, it's real. But not only that, this nation, this world has been here before. We've been in this space of uncertainty, of not feeling safe, of things being out of order before. Not saying that it makes it any better, or makes it feel any safer. But we've been here before, and I think that we can learn from history
Ooh, yeah.
how we've overcome.
Yeah.
Ooh, that would
But
take us having to read.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
People don't do that.
Oh, to even learn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right. And when
yeah, we've been there before.
yeah, when you said
Mhm.
that, I'm like, okay, have we
Wars,
been there to this
and
extent? But
rumors of wars.
yes,
Yes,
yes, we
yeah,
have.
we've been here before.
Mm-hmm.
There's been a leader set in place, and I'm just saying
Mm-hmm.
this has been. There's been a leader set in place, a leader that the people chose,
Chose.
and the people selected. And I'm just saying,
Yeah. No,
y'all.
go ahead and say
You
it,
know,
'cause you're
but we've been here before, in this space, and not trying to spiritual bypass. I think that's what you were referring to
Mm-hmm.
a little earlier. What we're feeling and what we're actually seeing with our natural eye. But we will prevail. We have the victory. But we have to go through, right? And the way in which we go through this is binding together,
Yes.
right? To make this, um, I'm not gonna say make it go away, but to conquer. Uh, and y'all probably like, what is this chick saying? But we really have to bind
Yeah.
together,
Mm-hmm.
in order to get through. And like I said, we've been here before, and we've overcome, and we've accomplished, and we've recreated safety and spaces and communities,
Mm-hmm.
and began to rebuild. So yeah, we're gonna get through this.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're gonna get through this.
Just gotta go.
But yeah,
So I'm
yeah,
not shifting it too
yeah.
much, but like we said, it's whatever we're talking about, right? And so I'm wondering because there's a lot of people who are some are choosing to overlook intentionally to not be to not feel it because when we feel things it makes it real, and so if I can overlook a thing maybe it doesn't have to be as real to me. But there are some people who are just going on with life like people are still buying homes, people are still traveling, people are still remodeling their homes
Yeah.
and doing all of these things, and we're sitting up here like be prepared.
Right. Right.
Get ready.
Mhm.
Be ready. What are y'all thoughts about, living life? Because, and I'm gonna be honest, this is something that I've been thinking about. Like, there are things that I want to do in my home,
Yeah,
but it's like, girl, should you be spending money on
yeah.
that? Like, is that
Live life though. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah? And I keep telling
Yes.
myself that, but it's like, girl, that military, that veteran in me was like, you need to be ready, Nikki.
Yeah.
You just never know, and would it be best for you to spend money on this versus saving this money for that? And it's like, but what if that never happens?
Mm-hmm.
And then I didn't live because I was waiting for that to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering, like, what are y'all thoughts? Have you thought out? I hear you say live, like really truly live. And I truly believe that is important, is to live. But for that person who's out there just that because of the uncertainty,
Yeah.
because of I just don't know what to do or how to do what I want to do because I'm being told this and I'm being told that and I see this and then you got the news, you got social media, you got all of these different entities telling you all of these things, and you're just like, I don't even know what to do. What do I do?
You know what I was thinking as you were asking that is definitely live for sure. I think where the problem lies is that so you have preparation, you mentioned it. You and your husband having conversations. That's good. Because y'all planning and whatever that may be like for y'all. But I think where the problem lies is when you have people who don't prepare and then they automatically come to you, think you should save them because they didn't prepare for them and their family. So if it works out for y'all where y'all are planning, preparing, we're going to continue to live life. I wouldn't say because most people may get into it where you're living fearful. No, No, they're trying to be strategic.
Mhm.
That's how I think of it. I think
It's
that's
wisdom.
there you
Yes.
That's
go.
what it is.
Yes.
There you
Definitely
go.
wisdom.
But if that's what worked for y'all, it's just what gets me is people who are so lackadaisical,
Mhm.
living in the clouds, spiritual bypass, as you said. And then when the stuff hit the fan, then all of a sudden, because we see it in movies like he was saying, or I hate to even bring this up. It made me think about The Walking Dead. What did they do? I'm going to attack your stuff, steal your food, and do all that. No, buddy. No.
Mm.
Because you was out here living your best life when you should have been stocking up.
Yeah.
So I don't know if the answer your question, but if it worked for y'all, then
Mhm.
do y'all. And I don't think anybody should like judge, what y'all do in y'all's home.
Right.
But y'all are doing the best of both. You living from what I'm reading, and you planning and preparing. That's just my thoughts.
And I think you can do both. There has to be a balance anyway.
Mhm.
But let's take it a little bit deeper. Why do some individuals not worry about it? Why are their heads maybe in the clouds? A lot they don't understand. Well, this is just Kenya talking. All right. Most people learn two ways: specific events and repetition. A specific event is something that happened that changed you so much, or you saw something that was so traumatic, or it really sparked your imagination, the tingling in your brain that you will never forget that. And so because of that event, you learn from it and you do things differently. Or you're used to doing things that way and over again, so it just naturally sticks with you. With veterans, that's it. Some of us, we've been doing that same thing over and over again, and we've had that specific event. So for someone that may be walking around without a care in the world, they haven't experienced that. So they don't know to prepare for some things. But then you got some individuals like, well, I won't worry about that because that'll never happen. That's that person's reality. And guess what? Your perception is your reality.
That's true.
Now, when reality busts wide open, what are you going to do at that
Don't
point?
come this way. That's what
Yeah.
do it over here.
Absolutely.
In my note.
Mhm. And so what I want to ask right now, I'm carefully word this. Yeah, with everything,
Can't
We at the
Yeah.
table. This is
Conversation.
Candid.
with
Can't.
everything that is going on in the world. Bring it back to the United States. We can talk politics, we can talk bureaucracy, conspiracy theories, all of that stuff. Do you think there are actually people out there that in their mind right now, they're saying, I don't know what the heck is going on in America?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
I got a text this week. Like, are we really at war? Huh?
Yeah.
It sounds like, yeah.
Yeah. It's just about everybody I have spoken to in the in work and outside of work,
Mhm.
they are so confused.
Yeah.
Like, what is happening? But then, like we've said, a lot of people are waking up too.
Mhm.
And a lot of people are like, you know what? This is unreal, but not unexpected.
Absolutely.
Mm.
Mhm.
Can I, okay, this is Candid Conversation. Kind of doubling back to, because I'm hearing this a lot too, and I was like, is it just me? Then I'm sure how somebody explained it. But what I shared that I feel as, I don't know if it's just a veteran or a person, is I feel like I'm doing I'm doing all the things that I normally do, but I feel out of body.
Mm.
The way that someone shared with me, actually, I want to say it was last week or the earlier part of this week, is they feel like they're in a simulation.
Mm.
And I was like, now that's deep.
Okay, so let's break that down.
Yeah.
When you say you feel like they felt like they're or feel like they're in an assimilation, meaning what?
Um, More so like with the way that things are unfolding. I think it was Larisha that said it. You looking at this, but it's like, I can't believe this is happening.
Like-
So it's almost like the outside looking in.
Mhm.
Like, this is really happening. This is really on the news. This is for real. Am I tripping? Is Ashton Kutcher gonna come out and punk me? It feels so, it's real, but it feels so unreal. So therefore it feels like you're in a simulation. Like almost in some conversations that I've had, it's almost like think about, because this is what came to my mind when they were speaking. You know how they had the puppet in the strings? And like that's how they feeling. Like we're being moved right along, but it still feels so unreal that it's happening. And I thought about it like when I was watching, which I ain't too plugged in with our news. However, I do watch news because I'm mindful of that from living overseas in a different country.
We don't watch y'all.
Yeah, we don't watch our news. If you want to watch the news, you need to watch the news over yonder. Not over here. But with that being said, as I was thinking back to when Iraq took place, and that was like 23 years ago, something like that, because I know it was 2003, February. I think it was February 20th. Anyway, so it was 2003, and I was thinking about Iraq and seeing how things were moving then. And I was glued to CNN at that time. This seems different because at least with Iraq, it was there. Now with this, it's like, wait a minute, how many countries? A lot of people in the U.S. don't even know how many countries are currently involved right now. They don't even want to be involved. So it's a lot of moving parts where there it was just Iraq. Now it's like who? What did friends did what? And then you got who did what? Oh, man. And then Iran seemed like they about their life. That's just what I'm noticing. I don't know about y'all.
And some people get caught in that because they don't know. If they've never been outside the city that they were born in, the state, the country. So when we look at it sometimes as veterans, we're looking at world maps. Okay, we're here, there. Oh, I see how they struck. And then some people have no idea of what's that like. And so that can be a little fearful for a lot of individuals. Now, I got a question I want to ask y'all. It's going to shift everything a little bit. Sometimes you feel like you're in a simulation, like it's a controlled environment.
Do it.
Do it. That's what I was thinking.
Grab it.
And so for me, I understand. Don't get me wrong. I love aspects of my country.
Right.
I served my country for 21 years. If I have to, I will continue to fight. The issue that I have right now is I feel like the country is not doing enough for the people. There's a lot being done for the upper class. There's a lot being done for people who are investing in stocks that have the money and the stuff to do that. But when it comes to people, human beings, they're not taking care of some people's basic needs. Now, I'm not negating the fact that individuals have to do some things for themselves. I got that. But when a person has to choose to either pay my mortgage or get my medicine, keep the lights on and put gas in the car, do I take cancer treatments or do I just die because I don't want my family to incur all these bills? But things are steady going up, 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 and nothing's ever funneling down to the individuals that are really the backbone of the country because we're the one paying all the taxes and all the other stuff. Now, that's part one. Part two, your people are not being taken care of because they're not being given anything from a nutritional value.
Oh, can you get out of my head and out of my conversation?
When I was younger, you heard about somebody with cancer. That was like 1 in a million. Now it's just like catching a cold.
Everybody got it.
And then when you look at it, like, what is our industry, our Food and Drug Administration doing to us? I can't eat my Cinnamon Toast Crunch no more because the stuff it's made out of.
Right.
Cheetos. You take an ice cream sandwich and put it on the concrete at 110 degrees in here in Texas, and it still look the same. What are you feeding us and what are you really doing? Because I feel it is a controlled, simulated environment in a sense.
Right.
And this is what they're doing. So I just want to know what y'all's thoughts are in reference to taking care of people, food-wise, health care. We can run down a rabbit hole on this one.
Oh, my God. I've been saying a lot with Bernie Sanders. Shout out to Bernie Sanders. That man.
Bernie.
Listen, they weren't listening to him when he was talking about a lot of things a long time ago. But I fully back his that billionaire tax or whatever he wants to do, that 5% tax, because why not? You billions and billions and billions of dollars that you could never ever spend.
Right.
To know that in the past year that the top 1% has increased their financial value by $1.4 trillion, not billion, not million, trillion dollars. And you got the average person who can't get groceries, who can't pay their mortgage, who can't get medication. Mind you, the medication that kills them even more than not taking the medication. It's just so much. One of the reasons why I won't watch the news is because of stuff like that.
Yeah. So
Because
downside of
how
everything.
can you say, especially for our Congress, for our political system, to say that you were for the people, you were elected by the people. And from my understanding, y'all correct me if I'm wrong, because when I learned about government in school, the government was for the people, by the people. Was it not? I mean, did I miss something? Was I miseducated on anything? You got into office because you worked for us. What I am seeing is that you're working against us.
Working for themselves.
You're working for yourself. You're working to feed and put money into your pocket. Nothing is for the people. And that is what I have a huge problem with. So when I'm thinking about my son about to be deployed, and to hear you say there's going, I gotta go there. I gotta go there.
I didn't know where you go.
Here you go.
You say that many more people will die.
Right.
For what?
What's the cause?
You mean to tell me I'm supposed to be okay with my son going over there to risk his life for something that we had no business being a part of?
Right.
Where are your sons and daughters?
Come on. I'm about to say where Polo's
I'm feeling like if we are able to go to war, if you want to say that we should go to war, sign your kids up. I Googled it.
Got both spirit.
Listen, listen. It's funny, but you gotta. I always think about that thing where you gotta laugh to keep from crying.
Yeah.
This is one of those moments where you have to laugh about a situation to keep from crying about it. Because I'm telling y'all, I have shed many tears because I'm angry. I am pissed.
Yeah.
I am pissed. I'm just, that's my truth. I am really, truly pissed off. But when I think about, and I Google just to see, and I feel like if we should know the numbers or whatnot, but I Google to see how many congressmen has children who are currently serving in the military. Why this thing pull up something from 2005?
I'm about to say 3 of them.
That says a dozen people was serving in 2005. That was 21 years ago. How many of y'all children are serving now?
True.
How many of them have y'all sent over there to fight whatever this is we're fighting?
You know what I don't understand? The very reason why individuals left England hundreds of years ago to come to the United States is the very thing that we're going through right now. They didn't want taxation without representation. They didn't want the the rich living good and not getting taxed and everything being down on the poor. So we left there in order. Yeah, look, they left there.
Look, to be clear,
they left there already in order to come here to say they wanted stuff different, but look what it's turned into. It's all the same. Yeah, it's all the same.
Yeah.
All the same.
Yeah. But I wanted to go back to what you were saying about the food and the healthcare.
Yeah.
The healthcare.
Healthcare.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, when I look from just looking at the path, I remember like first coming into patient care and EMT and all the things, and it was so rewarding. So I could see it from both sides. It was so rewarding to be able to help someone when they had, chronic blood pressure or, they were going through this, they had a sickness. I remember the people that I work with, we didn't do this with the patient, but we would just be praying. We would say, hey, we're going to get together. We're going to pray and intercede on their behalf that they're going to get better. And when they would come in and they would say that they were better, we were happy. That's as a caregiver. But now when you look at it in retrospect, and I thought to be interested, I'm going to share something because it really ran me hot. And I'm not gonna say, because most people are like, well, there's just the healthcare system that, Anyway, so what happened was, I remember I was speaking to my doctor and I was very determined to get off of meds. That's just me. I wanted to, because let me help educate the people. Let me help educate the people. When you go through the system and you become a doctor, even though I didn't become one, but you become a doctor, they are also trained and or was trained to provide alternative ways to treat their patient. So if I give you amoxicillin and you are allergic to xylins, then I can say, hey, go take this naturally. Or if you got issues with sleeping, try cherry juice at night. It's alternatives because of having the allergic reactions, right? They document it and then they change it to something natural. So here I am. I never let people know my background. I'm in the doctor's office and I was so super proud of myself because I had worked to get off of medications at that point. And so the individual tells me, had the audacity to get upset with me, a full MD, and say, well, you still need us, right?
What?
Okay, so my question is this, ma'am.
What?
Why are you getting an attitude? Because I'm actually working towards the goal that most doctors will want their patients to work towards. But I did it and you got mad and had the nerve enough to then question me and say, well, what is it that you're taking? Well, what is it that you're doing? Okay, don't y'all usually say exercise, eat right, try to get some sun, that good old natural vitamin D, but you get upset because you feel I won't need you as a doctor, but I'm still coming. So I think it's interesting because it's giving bipolar. Okay, ain't that a diagnosis? I'm thinking too. But it's giving bipolar that when we as an American people try to work hard not to depend on the system, and most people's thoughts, I know mine was, if I'm working to be able to stabilize some of the things in my health, then that means more care and attention can be given to my fellow American. That's how
Absolutely.
I was thinking. But it seems like paired with the food, because I was like, I don't even want to go out to eat no more. Like, I'm like to that point. Because I'm like, what you mean the little PE? I'm not going to say the restaurant because I just learned this 2 weeks ago. The mats, the little mats, the foam in there is in the bread that they serve. We'll talk about that offline.
Yeah.
But it's in the bread that they're serving and people are eating this same chemical. So as we wonder, why is it that it went from, because I was thinking about that too. This is the other piece. And the little, who, I forget the dude that's over the little Food and Drug Administration. The
Girl,
one
they change
we're going to leave that, they
they
do,
they
right?
change very often.
But the
They
thing that
change-
bothers me is this, because it's I love smoking.
Yeah.
But anyway, but the thing that gets me is the fact that what the difference was I felt then is, if you look at, we came up on a bunch of home remedies.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
We didn't like it, but think
Yes.
about this. How many people were sick?
Nothing.
How many people were autistic?
Nothing.
I don't even remember. It was 1 in a million for Down syndrome.
Hey.
It was not a lot of these things. So now
Kids
I look at it with
ADHD.
You know?
that part. It's almost like we are paying to become sick. It is a whole system. So we go to the doctor, we get the medicine. Because I remember in patient care, and you know how you get your little paper, read y'all's paper, where it say this medication could cause this. You look at the commercials and they show everybody all happy and kumbaya. And then they say, and while the people are smelling, right, they're trying to, wait a minute, are we auctioning off the med?
Yeah.
So it's a whole cycle. And I'm going to say this one thing and I'm going to shut up because it's been sticking with me and it hurts a little bit. When it comes to the veterans in this country,
Wow.
someone made this statement, and I'm not going to say that's what the Veterans Administration or whatever, I'm not coming for any organization, but somebody made a statement where they said it is cheaper for them to take care of a dead veteran versus a veteran that's still living.
Oh, that's a good one because that's normal. All thing I do is study history. Back in the mid-70s, early 70s, mid-70s, if I'm not mistaken, Ford Motor Company. Same thing. They had a car called the Pinto
Yeah.
that was known to explode, catch fire if it had a rear end collision.
Yeah.
And so instead of them going and fixing the problem, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was like
a little
11 or
pinch
12
something.
cents.
Yeah.
They said it was cheaper to pay out in lawsuits than to go through and fix all of that. So this is a systemic problem. I believe it starts with greed.
Oh,
Mhm.
absolutely.
And it's gotten out of control.
Wow.
And so I got a question I want to ask you guys. I'm looking at a website right now called the International Citizens Insurance, and they actually did some research to find out what were the top 20 countries with the best health care in the world.
Wow.
I want you guys to take a guess to
Yeah.
see who was at number one.
New Zealand.
Austria. I
Canada.
was thinking Switzerland.
Canada was close. Canada was number 4.
Okay.
Taiwan.
Taiwan.
Wow.
South Korea was number 2. Australia was number 3. Canada and Sweden. Canada was number 4. Sweden was number 5.
Okay.
Take a wild guess where you think the United States was.
How
at
many
the
on
top
the list?
20.
How many countries
Top
we
20.
got?
We ain't on
Oh, the
We-
top.
we-
Now we ain't
Top
on there.
20.
We ain't
We
make it.
actually are.
We
We
are,
made
because
the
I was
list.
gonna say 99.
How many countries in the world?
We at the bottom.
17.
We're actually at 15.
15.
And the only individuals that are below us on the top 20, Austria, the
Really?
United Arab Emirates,
You know,
Czech Republic, Finland, and Portugal rounds out number 20.
Finland would be.
Mhm.
Yeah, because
Considering where everybody
Austria.
lives in.
So
been-
what I'm looking here, it seems like they're not looking at just little specific things. They're putting a whole bunch of things together, like the infrastructure, the competencies of the health professionals, how much healthcare is being given per capita, and then looking at the availability of medicine, the cost of medicine, and how the government is prepared to handle certain things. And so we have to say that we keep saying this. We're the best country in the world, but everything when it comes to rankings, we ain't nowhere near the top except for
Especially
destruction.
education.
That's it.
You said destruction?
Destruction, we're probably number
Destruction.
1. Look at our beaches compared to other beaches around the world.
Yeah,
Look at how we treat the land here as opposed to other places around the world.
that's true.
We don't keep anything of value or not. If they could sell it, they'll sell
There
it.
you go.
They'll sell their
It's
mama
all,
if
it's
they
all
have
about
to.
profit. It's all about making money. Like I said, greed are the basis of this country is driven off of greed.
Absolutely.
This is why you have that mentality of people always on the grind.
Yeah.
You always got to get,
I want to
go.
see what.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
What you got?
This is a lot.
Because I'm looking at your face. That's why I'm like, what do you got?
Well, I was just thinking definitely about the healthcare piece and the mental health
Oh, yeah.
and insurance premiums. And I mean, just an example is, a client comes in, they want to utilize insurance, but their copay is $150.
Yeah.
The copay, right? The copay
people's session price.
is $150 just for a copay for a 60-minute or 50 to 60-minute, counseling session.
So should we cut out the middle, man? That's what a lot of people are doing.
Some people
yeah.
have opted to just not even use their insurance because it's not beneficial financially for them to use that. And to your point, to everything that we've been saying, I've seen so many clients who had to end services because they can't afford their copay. Their deductibles are extremely high.
Yeah.
And
did it just go up? I'm sorry. Did it just, because this year?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I know some went from like zero, paying nothing, to like $40, $50, $60. And I'm like,
Yeah.
So look at everything from a full spectrum. It seems like everything that we're talking about here that is supposed to be low and affordable is high, and people can't afford to pay things. Your auto insurance goes up. I ain't had
Talk about auto
Listen, we
so
had an
upset about
accident. I just had a conversation this
That's what I'm
morning with
saying.
DeMarcus about it.
Nobody in my family has had a ticket, a DUI, an accident since 2010. way back off in there somewhere, close to that.
I don't even think it was our fault.
Hey,
I don't even think that matters anymore.
yeah, it don't.
Right. It
But-
doesn't matter.
But the insurance is still high.
Right.
Yeah.
And insurance is high, food is high, medicine is high,
Gas is going up.
mortgage is going up, gas, everything is going up, but there's nothing more being given to the
Paychecks.
people. And so what is it that you expect to do when the only thing you got to look for is for something to increase?
Yeah.
Wow.
And, I'm going to say this one, and then I'm going to try to wrap this thing up, Jesus.
Yeah.
It's funny to me how we constantly have government shutdowns. I'm just kind of upset because every time I deploy, I didn't have the option to say, oh, we didn't get through to the enemy today, so we could go on vacation for 2 weeks and just chill out and come back and try it again. This got to be done every year. Stay there till you get it done.
And then try to hold us to a standard.
Well, not only that, but they hold you hostage because for some of us, you still got to end up going to work, but they ain't doing nothing and they still getting paid.
Hey, and you not.
My thing is, I'm going to say it like when you say it back in the hood. I ain't getting paid, you ain't getting paid.
Ain't nobody getting paid.
Because you're supposed to be, like we said at the beginning of the show, for the people, by the people.
Yeah.
And I think that there has to be something that is done to say, okay, look, I'm not saying hold nobody hostage, but I will say is maybe we just leave them in that room until they get it done. Because they left me in Iraq until we finished our mission. They left me in Kuwait until we finished our mission. You know what I'm saying?
10 months. Come on.
And people mid-flight, you diverted them to another location.
Yeah, you were leaving Afghanistan, but welcome to Iraq.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. I didn't sing so many. You're supposed to be over there for 6 months.
Yeah.
You wound up 18.
18
Yes.
months.
Come
Some
on now.
25.
And so that leads me to this, and this does not matter where you work at. What I'm going to ask people to do is evaluate your job, the reason why you work, how long you should work. I had a client that I was at work with, and they came in for specific reasons to the EP. And I show this video quite often, and it's to get individuals to realize that there has to be work-life balance.
Absolutely.
And this video is about a young man that graduates from college. He is walking down the street, and a businessman, it seemed like, comes up and offers him a job. He said, oh, I don't know. He said, look, I'm going to pay you $300 to stand right here. He said, wait, you playing, right? He said, no, $300, I bring it back to you at the end of the day. And every day he brought him that money. And so eventually, the guy is seeing all his friends skateboarding and doing all this other good stuff. And he said, hey, man, won't you come skateboard with us? Man, I can't, I'm working. And he's like, but you're just standing here. Well, that's my job. And so at the end of the day, the guy keeps bringing in money, and over time, he eventually says, hey, I got a question for you. He said, you know what? You've been doing such a great job standing right here in this little block. We're going to promote you and give you a bigger block. So he gave him a bigger block down the street where he had, I want to say, the scenery to see a bridge that was in the distance. And he stayed there and he stayed there. And one day after he got off, the boss gave him the money. He saw the boss walk around the corner, and he follows behind him and walks around the corner, looks up in a window on a building. There's the boss is. Guess what the boss is doing? Boss is up in the window painting himself as a clown. He's getting the chance to do everything that he wants to do, but the people doing the work are still doing the same thing. So eventually the man says, you know what? I think I've stood here long enough. I want to retire. He gave him his severance pay. All them people that he used to watch skateboarding because that's what he loved to do. Now he's old, gray, walking bent over. He takes the money, goes over to two young ladies and say, hey, I'm going to buy you a skateboard. I think he gives them like $1,000 or something for the skateboard, and he goes to try to skateboard and he can't. So basically what happened is life passed him by because you were so fixated on making that extra dollar. In my opinion, I'm going to say this, it's just Kenya's way of thinking. There is nothing wrong with working, setting yourself up for success, building a legacy for your children. But the way the United States is doing things now, they keep pushing the goalposts farther and farther back. When are you going to ever enjoy yourself if you don't start living right now?
Right. I guess, and that's, wow, we're going to have to end it right there. But I feel like that's a perfect place. And like with the question I asked even earlier about with everything that we see going on today, yes, it's happening. Yes, you can see it, but you cannot stop living.
Yeah.
You cannot stop living. Have balance. Be balanced. Understand where you are, where you're supposed to be going, and what you're supposed to be doing. Following the path, I'm going to say, that God set forth for you
Absolutely.
Mhm.
and not man.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
I think the consistency is to live,
Got to.
to live.
Mhm.
So we thank you all so much for joining us here tonight at Talk Therapy Heal. I know we talked about a lot. Like we said, this was candid. We was just talking about what was on our mind, what we were feeling. We hope that something that was said that penetrates your heart and your mind to make you think differently about what it is your experience is and how you're choosing to live the life that you have been afforded. If you are listening to us on YouTube, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe and that notification bell so you know when we're back.
Mhm.
If you're listening to us on a podcast, don't forget to share. Yeah, sharing is caring, y'all. Sharing is caring. Community. We're looking
Yes.
for community,
Mhm.
right? So join us here again at Talk Therapy Heal. Y'all have yourself a wonderful night. Bye.
Bye.